Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom Health and Wellness series featuring the top naturopathic physician in the country, if not the world, Dr. Peter Glidden, and what input I can bring to the table as a MD, an allopathic physician, an orthopedic surgeon by trade, but also my focus has been on the prevention side of the equation with the research we have done in trying to prevent unnecessary injuries and disabilities. Now, this platform is unique, much to the chagrin of big pharma, big medicine, big insurance, big government, all the entities that want to take control of your health and wellness and want you to have not just a little say, they want you to have no say in what happens to you and your health, and from a not only treatment standpoint, but from a wellness standpoint. And this is why this series of shows, this has been ongoing now for almost 4 years with Dr. Peter Glidden, is so popular amongst the public and so despised by those entities I mentioned: big pharma, big medicine, big government, big insurance. Today's topic is going to really upset them. Frankly, it's going to piss them off. And why? Because today we're going to talk about the steps that you can take in 2023 to enhance your health. Now, what all those other entities want you to believe is the only steps you can take is, well, wait till you get sick, and then take their big pharma product, use big insurance, healthcare insurance, be dependent on big government to allocate, if you're over 65, your Medicare opportunities that you can take advantage of. And what the AMA wants you to do is just go to the doc as many times as possible. Those are the steps they want you to take. And that is exactly opposite of what we're going to speak today with Dr. Peter Glidden, who, as I mentioned, is one of the top naturopathic physicians in our country, if not the world, but also a phenomenal author. His 2 books actually would keep you out of harm's way for 2023 and every year. Everybody is sick, and I know why. An Attempt to Cure with Holistic Medicine, available on his website, drglidden, Glidden.com. By the way, full disclosure, the products we speak about on this platform in this video are available at operationfreedomhealth.com. And by purchasing products on operationfreedomhealth.com, you support this series of shows so we can continue them in 2023 and beyond. It's my honor to welcome back Dr. Peter Glidden. Peter, welcome back to the Operation Freedom Health show and platform.
Dave, you continue to be the man. You're welcome, and thank you for the opportunity. And I just want to make one thing clear before we jump into today's topic. So, nobody in the world practices medicine. Medicine is a big umbrella underneath which many disciplines hang. There's allopathic medicine, your wheelhouse, naturopathic medicine, homeopathy, chiropractic, osteopathy, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Ayurveda, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all of these disciplines bring a different skill set to the table.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Medicine ultimately is like dogs. A lot of different dogs, and they're all good for different things, right? Bloodhounds are great for finding lost people. Labrador retrievers are great for duck hunting. Chihuahuas, I don't know what they're good for, but I can guarantee you that if you take a Chihuahua duck hunting, you're coming back empty-handed, right?
Yeah.
You need the right dog for the hunt. Allopathic medicine, your profession, is fantastic for surgery when it's necessary, trauma care, military field medicine, complications of childbirth and pregnancy, because that's the wheelhouse of reductionism. Right? Reductionism looks at the body like it's a machine. And it's interesting to note that all 100% of the major advances in medicine in the last 100 years have been in surgery and diagnostic techniques. The stuff that you guys can do in the surgical theater now, it's unbelievable, because that's the wheelhouse of allopathic medicine. And, I am not. It's easy for an unassuming person listening to me, especially because I'm so bombastic most of the time, to think that I'm, as a naturopathic doctor, I'm against drugs and I'm against surgery, and I'm not.
No.
It's ridiculous.
No.
I can prescribe drugs, right? It's not the drug, it's how it's used.
Uh-huh.
Thank God for insulin. Thank God for lidocaine, right? Every time I'm in the dentist chair, I thank God for lidocaine, for goodness sake. So we need to keep it all clear. With, what we desperately need here, and what we haven't had for over 100 years, 110 years, is a free medical market.
True.
Your insurance needs to pay for my medicine. It needs to pay for Ayurvedic medicine. It needs to pay for acupuncture. It needs to pay for everything. And it should be legal to practice all of these types of medicine, if you're licensed to do it, in a hospital. And universities should be required, especially if they're using public money, government money, to do 50% of their research at least on these other types of medicine. But that's not the situation that we have. It's completely 100% lopsided. And Big Pharma is in control of that.
True.
So from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. And this is when you and I are talking, it's easy for those distinctions to get lost, right?
Very true.
Right. Very true.
So let's talk 2023 and how
right.
every one of our listeners can enhance their health, because it's, as we mentioned, contrary to what the syndicate wants them to know and do.
Yeah. So fire your medical doctor.
Well, at least ask them some really hard questions.
Yeah, ask some really hard questions.
Yeah.
I have 10 questions on my website that you should ask any healthcare provider. I don't care who they are.
And that's at drglidden.com.
drglidden.com, that's right, /rant. It's free information. But not failing that, you need to understand that your body has the ability to fix itself, and that your body wants to fix itself. And in this regard, the body is very much similar to an automobile. And it would be prudent for you every once in a while to tune the car up, change the oil, change the spark plugs, the transmission fluid, power steering fluid, right? Make sure all the cables are good, put air in the tires, oil the doors, and put the right fuel in the tank. We need to do that with the human body. And if we do that with the human body on a regular basis, then you dramatically strengthen the body's ability to manage its own affairs. And, the immune system is one part of the body that everybody's talking about because of what. But there's a lot of systems in the body, and they're all interconnected. And so when you do the holistic way, and that's why it's called holistic, everything benefits. It's a global, has global reach inside the human body. And so this is the recommendation. The recommendation is the Healthy Foundation Pack. And the Healthy Foundation Pack provides 100% of the nutritional needs of your body in formulas that the body can absorb. That's why it's called the Foundation Pack. So our supposition here, our position here, is that this is how many nutrients the human body needs.
Right.
This is how many the human body has.
Right.
Because they're not in the food anymore, not like they used to be. And then you experience the stress of life. The stress of life burns through your reserves, and then you develop a symptom. Not because you have a bad gene, not because of you're getting older, not because of chemtrails, which are very real, by the way. But this is happening because your body is running on nutrient fumes. And your body needs stuff in order to work, and now it doesn't have those things, so it's not going to work. So then, now you're in trouble because you're symptomatic, and you're in trouble. So you got something, and so you go to the only show in town, the only show that your medical insurance pays for, which is MD-directed general family practice medicine. And the doctor throws a drug at your condition, the intention of which is not to cure the condition, not to strengthen your body, but to simply manage the symptom. Which is very similar to, sweeping dirt under the rug. Well, you can do that if you want, but the long-term outcome is not going to be good. So what would be more prudent to do is just get with the program, fill the body's nutritional tank up. Give the body what it needs to function the way that God intended it to, number one. Number 2, stop eating food that's coming up the works. This is the 12 Bad Foods, which is available at OperationFreedomHealth.com for free.
The video, right, upper right-hand corner. Right.
Now, because it's cold and flu season,
Mm-hmm.
and, the Northern Hemisphere, where most of our listeners are, it would be prudent at this time of the year to do extra stuff to support and promote and strengthen your body's immunity. Mm-hmm. The most important thing you can do in that regard has nothing to do with nutritional supplements. It has everything to do with diet. Make sure that you swallow 60 grams of protein every day. 60 grams of protein. 60 grams of protein. I don't care what type of protein it is, as long as it's not on the 12 bad foods list. Your body needs protein for a number of different things, but the most important thing it needs protein for is, your immune system, because that's your immune system is made from protein, mostly. So you need protein. It's simple, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Every time that you eat something at this time of the year, make sure that 50% of what's on your plate is protein.
So what's your favorite, how about this? Many people say, I want to do some snacking every so often during the day. And what's your favorite protein snack, Pete?
Mixed salted nuts.
Yeah.
100%. Second to that, it's not as easy to do, but I really love smoked salmon.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
And rice and beans together in the same meal. And I like to do like the Cajun rice and beans, with a lot of different spices and stuff, and delicious. Rice and beans together is a perfect protein. Eggs are a perfect protein, but you have to eat a lot of eggs. Yeah. You have to eat like 10 eggs to hit the 60 gram mark for protein. But if you're on the go, right? Like snack food, mixed salted nuts.
Yeah, that's what I have in my car. That's what I have in my car with me all the time.
Yeah.
I have a bag in the thing.
Gotta love it, Dave. And if you're going to do that, you have to make sure you've got water on hand.
Yeah, right.
Because the salt in that is good for you, but it's going to demand more water.
Right.
The same way that, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but people will notice it at this time of the year. When you eat more sweets than you normally should or would, you start to get really thirsty. It's because your body needs the water to metabolize the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting a lot of it. It's the same with salt. So just make sure you're hydrated, and bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. So protein. And if you want to go an extra mile with the nutritional supplements here,
right,
then the recommendation would be the Killer Biotic.
So Foundation Pack, increase your protein intake, and Killer Biotic.
Yep, I would do 1 Killer Biotic 2 times a day with food, 1 Killer Biotic 2 times a day with food preventively. And that's going to go a long way towards making you kind of sail through cold and flu season and everybody else is dropping like flies.
Pete, do a bit of dissection here. In the Foundation Pack, the 4 components. Just to educate our listeners again on the 4 components so they know.
Okay, so the main contender is a product called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Mm-hmm. And that has vitamins, it has minerals, it has prebiotics, it has probiotics, it has antioxidants. It's got a lot of stuff in it. Mm-hmm. And it compromises about 70% of your body's nutrient needs. And it's put together in a really sophisticated form, like physical form that doesn't separate inside the bottle, and which dissolves relatively easily in water.
Right.
Which was not the easiest thing in the world to accomplish. Thank you very much. So the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the main contender, and that's a powder form that you dissolve in water. Then we have a liquid calcium called Beyond Osteo FX. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite calcium in the world, by the way, and the world is a very big place. It's over 90% absorbable. It is the most awesome calcium supplement I've ever seen. Calcium is a big deal for your body. You need 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, and that's really hard to do, virtually impossible to do with food. The third thing is the plant-derived minerals, which is liquid.
Right.
And the plant-derived minerals seals the deal in the Foundation Pack because 60% of your body's nutrient needs are minerals. So when you take the plant-derived minerals into the foundation pack, it's like insurance, right, to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. There's minerals in the Tangy Tangerine, but not enough.
Right.
So the plant-derived minerals seals the deal, and then there's a little bottle of fish oil, which gives you omega-3 essential fatty acids. It's called Prohoba Omega. So that's 4 components to the Healthy Foundation Pack, which give you 100% of your body's nutrient needs, which fills that tank up really nicely. And when you do that, especially the first time that you do that, switches start turning on that have been turned off your whole life, and a lot of really positive things happen.
So, Pete, I was recently contacted, and the person said, look, I've gone on this foundation pack, and it's made an enormous difference in my life. So for the Christmas holidays, I've allocated X amount of dollars, and to my family, I'd like to get them started on something to help them feel better. But if I purchase 5 foundation packs, I'm going to leave 5 of my family members out because it's going to toast up my budget. So if people have 10 people they're going to buy to and want to give them the, if you will, gift of health, gift of empowerment for the new year, is there one thing that you would at least get them started on and say, hey, look, you're feeling a little better, aren't you? Imagine how well you would feel if you took the rest of this. Is there one component that you would recommend?
Plant-derived minerals, hands down. And let me tell you a story about that. So years ago, I knew a guy, his name was Bernie Owens. He died 4 or 5 years ago. He was in his 90s, I think, when he died. And he worked at a clutch factory in upstate New York. I don't know what they make clutches for, something in the aeronautic industry, I think. But in any event, Bernie was a really interesting guy. And he had that one of those personalities where he's like, everybody knows him, everybody loves him. He's like the mayor, right?
Yeah, right.
And Bernie, as age was increasing, was arthritic.
Yeah.
And he was having trouble walking around the factory and going from workstation to workstation. And, everybody knew it. And all of a sudden, Bernie's not hobbling around anymore. And his coworkers are looking at him saying, Bernie, what the hell? Did you have a knee replacement or what did you do?
Yeah.
And Bernie said, no, man, I started taking these minerals. That's all that I did. I took these minerals, and in a couple of weeks, my joint pain disappeared. Here, I'll give you a bottle for free. If you like how it makes you feel, you can pay me for it later, and I'll get you more. So Bernie bought like cases of the plant-derived minerals, and he gave them out like candy to his coworkers. Hundreds of people. Not one person didn't pay him for it and get more.
Wow.
Because the minerals, it's not rocket science, right? That's 66%, it's 2/3 of your body's nutrient needs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get some vitamins and some fatty acids and some amino acids in the food that you eat, but you're lucky to get minerals. It's really, 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 really easy to become deficient in minerals quickly. So when people start filling up their mineral tank, bada bing, bada boom, you'll get it. That's a really good way to get a kind of a foot in the door inside people's minds, because the proof of the pudding's in the eating. And not coincidentally, it's the least expensive component of the foundation pack. One bottle of minerals, I think, with shipping is like $22. So the plant-derived minerals, hands down. If you want to make an inroad with people this holiday season, get that.
It's a great gift.
It's a great gift.
I mean, how many gifts do you get that truly make you feel better?
Yeah.
Okay, a good pair of shoes might make you feel, oh, well, that's nice to walk around. But I mean, how many gifts give you the gift of health? See, that's the thing, right?
That's the thing. And this from the Department of Redundancy Department, the proof of the pudding's in the eating.
Yeah, that's right.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Because you take this stuff, you either feel better or you don't feel any different. And if you do the minerals every day for a month and you don't feel any different, I'll eat my damn hat.
Yeah, I will too, because I'm a testament to that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for years you pushed on me, right? Dave, with your arthritis and blah, blah, blah. You know, you know, you don't look that great, yeah, Dave, come on. And finally, I went on the foundation pack with the minerals, right? The whole shit. And Pete, you know, there's no more Tylenol, there's no more Advil, there's no more prescription-grade anti-inflammatories, there's no more pain. There's Dave doing work. And I first actually realized how well it was working when my wife said, came outside. Hey, what? You know you've been out here doing yard work for like 4 hours? Yeah. And you're still standing?
Yeah.
And you're not in here moaning and groaning? Are you okay? No, but seriously, that's how. And I came to the realization, like, 4 hours, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
But Pete, I was ingrained from medical school, actually, because it was really a topic not discussed, but throughout my training, that you had to wait for something to happen.
Yeah.
And then address it with all the hooch, right? With big pharma, this or that, or whatever it might be. And in fact, that was so wrong.
Yeah. Well, you know,
and personally, I really suffered from the arthritis pain for years, needlessly. Needlessly.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it was Mark Twain, right? Samuel Clemens, who said, it ain't what you know. You know, it ain't what you don't know that'll hurt you.
Yeah.
It's what you know for sure.
Right.
It just ain't so.
Well, I'm living proof of that, man. Okay. So, number one, OperationFreedomHealth.com. The 12 Bad Foods video, free corner. The products we discussed, the foundation pack, the probiotic, it's all there on the homepage. And in addition, there's drglidden.com with the books, with the subscription. People have 24/7. Educate our listeners on that.
Yeah, just self-help, health recovery information based upon my and my colleagues' clinical experience at drglidden.com. So you got an earache, you point and click. I tell you what I would do, and you can do it yourself and see if you get leverage. I talk about 88 different illnesses. I have a section that has medical myth busting, where we talk about the real science behind, you know, cholesterol and salt and high blood pressure and a lot of different things. A lot of the stuff really that people should have been taught in high school, but they weren't.
No.
So,
let alone college, medical school. Right? Yeah. Don't even. No.
So it's one-stop shopping for, you know, educational breakthroughs and what to do to make yourself healthy.
Pete, I'd like to thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. I'd like to wish you and every one of our listeners a happy new year, and hopefully you will do what that person who contacted me is doing, is take a look at Operation Freedom Health, a look there and say, you know, what can I do to make my kids, my wife or husband, my whatever, mother, father, brother, sister, have a better start to the new year. I thank you, Pete, for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.